is Sunday. It's at 9 a.m. I don't remember what day of the week it is. I think it's the 20th. You'll probably hear my son running up and down the hall and in the living room because we decided to have breakfast at home today, and I really wanted to record. So I got a half an hour of time from my husband where he said he won't come in and interrupt, so I can talk to you guys about what's been happening. So last weekend, the reason I didn't podcast was because we went to Lambtown, which is a sheep and wool festival in Dixon, California. And Dixon is about 20 miles, no, probably further. I'm terrible at distance. It's just past Davis for me. It probably took us half an hour to drive there. And Dixon's a really tiny town, and the fairgrounds are almost down in the middle of their downtown. And this is the first time I've gone since I started knitting. I went with my mom probably 17, 18 years ago. Like, it was a very, very long time. It's definitely before, well, maybe not 17, 18, maybe 15. Definitely before I met Eric, and we've been together for 10 years. Our wedding anniversary was Friday, so we've been married for 5, we've been together for 10, and a lot of my possessions for my knitting, I always couch in, well, I've had that since before I met Eric, so let me just show you what I got, because I'm actually pretty excited. So I'm pretty stoked. One of the booths I really wanted to see was chicken boots, and I got this amazing totes. I wanted all of her stuff. I definitely spent too much money in her shop. But I love Harry Potter, so I love the Harry Potter fabrics. But I love the pockets on this. So it's a reversible bag. There's a pocket here on the outside, and oh look! I already threw a tape measure in there. So there's a pocket on the outside, and then on the inside, same pocket on the opposite side, and the fabric's opposite. So, but I like the Harry Potter fabric. I got this for at-home knitting. I love how much I can shove in here. But I needed something better to hold my sweater projects, my at-home sweater projects. So right now, I'm working on the kids' Christmas sweaters. Not that that's what it is in here, but those are my sweater projects right now. So, so I really love this bag, and I could probably buy more stuff. But I was really excited to see her in person because bags are hard for me, and I really wanted to feel them in person and see the shapes and figure out what's going on. So I was really excited because I know I'm going to end up buying more of her stuff. And she was so sweet and very nice. And obviously I want more stuff. So because I am a Gryffindor, I got this really great little pouch. So I love the Gryffindor fabric on the back. And then it's just a little flat pouch. So it's really nice to just shove in the bag. You see I have stitch markers. As my phone is updating. You can see I have stitch markers. I have a little scrap piece of yarn because I needed to hold stitches. I got a needle. The needle actually came from Jimmy Bean's Wool, who's there. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I really love the fabrics. I love the little flatness of it. So I knew I was going to get that. And then the dark horse that I wasn't sure I was going to get is this little one skein bag. I did talk to her. She says if I knit my socks 2 at a time from the same skein, which I do, I usually split the skein or knit from both ends. I should be able to fit the whole skein in here, or the whole project in here, because as you know, I'm 2 at a time. However, this bag is full, and it's full of little toys because my son really wanted it, and I am not the kind of mom who's going to spend $30 on a bag for their kid, but I am the kind of mom that would spend $30 on a knitting bag for herself and let her kid play with it for a while until he gets sick of it. So he said I could share it with you guys today. But I really like it. I also like the pocket here. So like if I wanted to shove something in here, I could do that. He's been having a fun time hanging with it. This like goes all the way up to his shoulder. He calls it his little purse. And he has his little sum-sums in here. So these were his advent calendar last year for Christmas. And he likes playing with them a lot. And they've been in a little box, and he moves them all over to his little bag. And then I'll probably move them back to the little box, and then I'll get the bag back. So those are the things I bought from Chicken Boots, and I really love those. And then Jimmy Bean's was there, Jimmy Bean Wool. And I think I mentioned before, I feel like they're my local yarn shop. They're up in Reno. I like them much better than my local yarn shop, sorry. And then, but I also like the amount of stuff that they have, and it's where I bought the yarns worth for the sweaters. I like to go up and visit when we go to Reno, because we do go to Reno usually about once a year. And sometimes I can throw a trip in there. So while I was there, she was having a deal on the knit blockers. And I love mine, so I bought another set because when I was pinning out the shawl, I wished I had another set. So I was like, well, I'll pick that up. And then while they were there, she announced it. They just announced on their blog. They had announced it at Vogue Knitting, maybe that was 2 weeks before Lambtown. But they bought the brand Namaste, and they're bringing it back. And she had a ton of their bags. She had... that's pretty much what she had. They had the bags, so you could see the difference, the different kind of bags they had. She had the booby beanies, the breast cancer research kit that has it's pink and white speckled yarn and then a big pink pom pom and some stuff. And I know, and it was Laura herself, so that was really nice. We talked about my my Birks because I have the Maya Burke, if you wanted to Google that. But instead of just the 2 straps, it looks like it has a strap over the toe. It's a little fancier. I feel less hippie-ish when I wear them. So so we talked about my shoes. But she's very nice. And I realized, especially talking to her, that I really fall into the trap of, I know you because I follow you on social media, but you don't know me because you don't follow me and we don't talk on a regular basis. So really... I really have to like rein that in sometimes when I talk to people. The rest of Lambtown, there was a ton of yarn. Invictus Yarns was there. I almost bought a shawl kit, but I was kind of hit my limit. But I really enjoyed being able to touch all the yarns and see everything and figure out what base I'm gonna get. But I did come away with some yarn. So there's a yarn store in Lafayette that was there, and she has her own hand dyes, but she had. It was so interesting because she was like my favorite. She was like the only booth there that was really modern, that like had all the stuff that I'm into right now. Like she had the most recent MDK book, the merrymaking book. She had the Constellate book by Hunter Hammerstein that we talked about. I showed her Heather's hat that I was working on, and she had Constellate on display. She had some of Riv Creative's stitch markers and just some other stuff. So it's like I felt very kindred with her. Like she was like my. It made me wish I lived in Lafayette, and that's not very close. That's it's down. I had to look it up. It's down by the bay, down by San Jose. But so because I love the yarn from Swan's Island so much, they're worsted. I got this dip dye, and the color is so hard to really tell it. Like it looks bluer than it does in real life here on the camera. It looks almost like a tealy blue, and it goes really dark blue. This is a DK. The color is natural and mallard, so yeah, this is, I guess, their mallard color, and I think they just dipped the end of it, right? So this color is only in that spot, and you can see how it fades up, like probably where it's soaked up the yarn when they were dyeing it, but it's that same squishy base. I'm gonna knit a hat out of this, but I don't know yet what. I just bought the beekeeper hat because I love some hexagons. There's a couple of other hats that is just like, I'm not sure what's going to be the best for this, and I want to make sure that whatever it is, it's something that I wear all the time. But I'm really excited, looking forward to this. And then the other thing I bought, I'm happy and sad. I love the yarn. So there's, I'm sorry, Busy Sticks is the yarn store. I just remembered. My brain just told me. So Maria owns Busy Sticks, I believe, and is a dyer. So she did have a bunch of her own hand-dyed stuff. And so I picked out this. This is called her Mendocino base. And it's a 4-ply fingering, 438 yards, hand-dyed. My color's really off today, probably because I didn't open the blinds. So this is her color, stainless steel. This is not the color I ordered. So, and I'm so wishy-washy on it. So when she was there, she had been at Vogue Knitting 2 weeks before, and so she had all of her colors on display, but she didn't have enough that, like, if you wanted to buy sweaters quantity, it was there. And so I talked to her about it, and she goes, oh yeah, I'm just dying to order. So that's great. Whatever sweater I'm gonna knit out of this, I am not going to be knitting for a while. So, and I like to be surprised by, I love to be surprised by the mail. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll order. That's cool. So we talked about it. I chose the color charcoal because the sweater I was dreaming of was a very dark base, and so so I chose the charcoal colorway, and we were talking about it, and stainless was right next to it, and she's just like, are you sure? Because when I said I wanted the dark color, she goes, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I like stainless, but I want charcoal. When I got the mail, I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's perfect. Well, and then I looked and I go, oh, it's a little light. And then I went and found my receipts that she wrote me so that she knew that she had to send me yarn with my address and stuff on it. And the receipt says charcoal, so she sent me the wrong color. So I have 4 skeins in stainless steel, and but I wanted charcoal. So here's my dilemma. I love stainless steel too, and I don't know if charcoal is going to be too late. So the sweater I was originally thinking, I'm going to knit a Hohi sweater, another one. I was originally going to knit long line because I have a very dark sweater I bought at Macy's a couple years ago. It's very long, goes past my booty, kind of an A-line shape. I never button it up. It has a hood, and it's just really casual. It's nice. It's a good layering piece for me here in Sacramento, and I wear it all the time. So I was kind of thinking I love long line for that. And then I was thinking, I'm looking at it. I also like granito, and granito is also knit in a fingering weight. So, and granito is shown in a really dark charcoal color. So, like, I love the charcoal, but at the same time, I'm knitting my next sweater for me. So this isn't even next in line. My next sweater is, sorry, look at that wrinkle. My next sweater is going to be, I think it's called Welcome September, and I'm gonna knit it out of Blue Moon's Fiber Arts Cake Worsted, and the color I got was Rookie, which is it's in her dark line, so it's black overdyed with like purples and blues and greens, and it's just like really, really dark. So it's gonna be like a really dark worsted weight sweater. So my thought is, do I keep the stainless and let her know? Because my concern if I don't let her know is, did she dye this for somebody else? And they're going to get the charcoal and be unhappy, because she did tell me that there was going to be like a 4-week wait on the charcoal. Or do I just keep it and knit granito out of the stainless steel, which is going to look just as good, but it isn't the sweater I dreamed of. So I've been waffling on that. I'm probably going to email her. I love that charcoal. It looks so good. I need it. So that's what's been happening. Those are my recent acquisitions. And then while we were at Lambtown, I did meet my husband's coworker. She was participating in Sheep to Shawl, and they won. They won their event, and it was really interesting because when I went the first time, Sheep to Shawl was a hand knit shawl, and this year all of them were woven shawls. So, but they had a really great pattern. She told me one. She invited me to knit night last week, but I didn't go because I went to Chicago for work last Monday and Tuesday, which is why I didn't podcast last week, because I was flying on Sunday as opposed to podcasting. And so I was exhausted when I came back. I just couldn't. I went to bed. I don't think I knit for 2 days when I got back from Chicago. I was so exhausted because I didn't want to knit at night. So I didn't do much this week. So with that said, let's talk about what I finished. I've already handed off one finished object because I finished Heather's hat. I finished Ephemeris. I took some photos with my husband yesterday, so I'll pop a photo up here. Maybe. We'll see. Otherwise, it'll be on my Ravelry page. But that blue yarn looks amazing. She put it on last night. We went to the symphony last night. So we had our lady dates because she and I go out. Pretty much if I get tickets to an event that my boss gives me, I usually take Heather because she'll enjoy it more, we both get out of the house, and we don't have to find a babysitter because our husbands stay home with our kids. And our husbands are really good friends, and they play computer games together. So they're, as long as the kids go to sleep, they don't really care. But the other thing that I've been working on for last, because I really focused on finishing Heather's hat, and that took me a bit. The other thing that I finished, and I'm pretty sure this is the only other thing I finished, is, and I'm not even finished, I have one sleeve left to go, is James's little sweater, and look how cute this is. Look at that color. So I've tried it on Evan. It definitely fits him. It's a little bit smaller right now than Evan's sweater, even though the gauge is supposed to be the same. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to grow because it's acrylic and superwash. So, and obviously I did the swatch. I showed you the purple swatch last time I blocked it, and it's the exact same yarn. So I'm pretty sure it's going to grow on me, which is great, because I'm like accounting for that growth. But even if it doesn't grow, it still fits Evan, which means it will fit James, because James is smaller than him. James is a small kid. So I did learn some new stuff. So I did learn how to do a tubular cast on. So my neck is super ridiculously stretchy. And this one is 2x2 cast on. And then I learned how to switch the 2x2 to 1x1 without making it look weird, so that I could do the tubular bind off both on the bottom and on the sleeve, because that is probably the big complaint Evan had on his sleeve. He's like, oh, it's too tight. And it's not too tight, but you can't make a fist as you put it through, and that's how he gets dressed, because he's a weirdo. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish the sleeve today, and then I'm going to start on the baby sweater. So I'm going to make the 12-month size for that, because I measured him, and he's a whole whopping 17.5 inches around. He's a giant, tiny baby. No, he's a tiny baby. So I'm going to knit the 12-month size, and I think I'm going to have a ton of leftover yarn, because I bought 4 skeins of this yarn, and this is, I did one skein all the way down, almost got it all the way through the ribbing. So I had to join a skein in the ribbing, and then obviously I have the sleeve and one more sleeve, and this is how much I have left on the skein I started on the second skein, and I still have 2 more after this. So I'm probably, depending on what happens with the rest of the leftovers, gonna knit Evan a stripy sweater or something, because there's gonna be so much. Or I'll make Matthew 2 sizes as he grows, so he can have an interim size, so that he can match his brother. So I'm gonna finish this today. That's my plan. This sleeve probably took me maybe 3 hours total. I knit on it. I started at game night at a Friday night, because we went over and we played Exploding Kittens, and the boys played. And I got through half the decreases. And then the next day, yesterday, I finished the rest of the sleeve, and I didn't knit it for very long. So I'm going to finish this one today. That's my plan. While I'm doing laundry, is finishing this one. And then I'm going to start on Matthew's sweater, and since it's so tiny, I should hopefully finish it before the end of the week. I'm going to have to give up on my dream of seeing all of the sweaters together in a pile, because I was like, oh, this can look so cute. But I told Heather, as soon as I finished Matthew's sweater, if she wanted them early, I would give them to her early, so that the boys could take Christmas photos in them, so that they look on warm and toasty and matching, because they're super cute and adorable. So that is what I have been working on. I don't have anything upcoming. I have to finish the boys' sweaters, and I need to find a manly hat pattern. So I probably still have to buy yarn for it. Otherwise, maybe Bright's getting a blue hat. But I want to knit a hat for my brother-in-law, and I want to knit a hat for my father-in-law. I should knit a hat for my brother, but I'm not going to, because he has his fair share of winter gear. I've knit my sister's Christmas present. I've knit my mom's Christmas present. I still need to figure out what I'm going to make for my mother-in-law, but she has already received. Last year she got a cowl, so if she doesn't get anything this year, she totally understands, because last year she got a cowl. But that's what I got going on. I'm dreaming of starting to knit something for me, but I know myself, so I really have to buckle down and knit, do my Christmas gifts, because I have big thoughts this year on Christmas. So that is my plan. That's what's been going on. Let me know how your Christmas knitting is going. Also, I would love to hear it if you have any manly hat patterns or hat patterns you've knit for men in your life that have just really gone over well, in either a DK or a worsted weight. At this point, my poor little fingers cannot handle another fingering weight hat, even though I've seen like 4 patterns and I have a ton of fingering weight here that needs to be used, but I need to be quick and efficient for Christmas this year. So I'm hoping to find one of those patterns soon. Man, I should probably turn off my screensaver as I podcast. So I'm hoping I gotta figure out a pattern for that soon, and then I can get those on the needles. And I mean, I only need one manly hat pattern. I can knit the same pattern for both my father-in-law and my brother-in-law. They're on different sides of the family, and they live in different parts of the country, so they wouldn't even see each other. They could even have the same matching hat. But those are my Christmas plans. That's what I have coming up. I also have a ton of knitting time coming up because in 2 weeks I fly to Florida for another work trip. I work in IT, and I'm going to IT Nation, which is a trip. They keep changing it up. It used to be a user conference for ConnectWise, the software. Now they've opened it up. It's still put on by ConnectWise, the software, but it's supposed to be more about thought leadership and business processes and not specifically tied to the software. So this might be the last time I go. I've been the last 2 years, and if stuff doesn't change up, it's not going to be worth the flight to Florida for me. So, but we're going a day early, and I get to go see Harry Potter World. So we're going to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and I'm pretty excited about that. But also, I have never had a problem getting my needles, even my metal needles, on a flight. So that's tons of knitting time for me, because the time in the airport, the time on the plane, the time during layover, because this is not a direct flight for us, and then the time, and I can knit during sessions when we're there, because I can record the session and then knit, so I pay more attention. So I'm actually pretty looking forward to it. I'm going to have to figure out how to not overpack yarn, because when I went to Chicago, I took way too much yarn because I thought I was going to knit more. Also, I think I thought Matthew's sweater was going to take longer, and more yarn, or I'm sorry, James's sweater. So that's it. That's what I got. Thanks, guys. Thank you for coming back. If you've watched me before, thank you for sticking through this. If this is your first time, I really appreciate that you're spending a half an hour of your Sunday with me. I know that there's a ton of podcasts out there, and if you chose to watch me, I really appreciate it. I would love any comments you want to give me. You can follow me on Instagram. My username is awelisa, just like here on YouTube, and the same on Ravelry. My username is the same there also. And you're welcome to follow me. I don't have a group for my podcast because I don't have a group for my podcast. So that's what I have. So have a great Sunday. I hope you get tons of knitting time in, and you don't neglect your chores for your knitting, which is what I always do. So I will hopefully see you in 2 weeks, and I will record before I go to Florida. Have a great Sunday. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.